Welcome on in, everybody. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. I always appreciate you guys' support. If you guys could subscribe, that mean a lot to me. And to the WQAM YouTube page as well. Watch Tobin and Leroy every single weekday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Happy Veterans Day out there, everybody. Thank you to all of our veterans and everything you guys do. And, doing everything that you do, being badasses, protecting bums like me. And it was like, usually I feel like Veterans Day is like a Monday thing. I was a little caught off guard. I was like, oh, yeah, this is a Friday. I'm wondering why it was such an easy drive to work today. But thank you to all our veterans out there and everything you guys do. As we know, on this weekend, no Miami Dolphins football, and I miss it. I'm going to miss it. And it feels almost like a little bit longer because the damn game was so early last week. I felt like last week was the longest Sunday of all time because, you're over by 12. Then I had to go to my son's flag football game. You're still reeling from a high-stakes loss. I was talking to one of my buddies, Chiefs fan, less obnoxious one, and he was saying, he goes, I don't know why I cared that much. He goes, but I think the Dolphins, they got my respect. So everybody out there who's like, oh, the Dolphins can't beat a good team, I don't want to hammer this home. It feels like it's beating a horse. But I do feel like, from a couple of the people I've spoken to who are rooting for the other side, they feel like I feel like they got the Dolphins' respect going into this bye week, enjoying the time off. For this weekend, look, the way I usually go when I don't have a team to root for, I go petty watching. That's how I roll. I do that with basketball. I do that with football. So this weekend on your petty watching slate, you got Colts Patriots super early, 9:30. They are also in Frankfurt. And the thing we have to watch out for in this, of course, is there are rumblings and rumors that if the Patriots lose this week, they could fire Bill Belichick. Now, personally, I think this is crazy that they would fire, even as delightful as it would be to have that rat bastard go down in the middle of a season. To see the Patriots get to a level of such disdain that they would fire Bill Belichick in the middle of a season, what a sight that would to be behold. I mean, that would be crazy. So we got to root for destruction. We got to root for the Colts absolutely demolishing the New England Patriots and seeing, and I'm sure for the Colts standpoint, that longtime rivalry goes back. There's no love lost between the Colts, the Patriots, Peyton Manning, Deflategate, all of that. And it feels very much like they could have it in their hands to perhaps put the dagger in Bill Belichick's Patriots career. Now, it's interesting from a couple standpoints because obviously the Dolphin fan wants to see this just curmudgeon stay away from Don Shula's record. Don Shula hated his ass, Belichick. And you wonder to yourself, what would be the path that would slow him up? Would he be in a better situation? Because I would imagine if he did get fired, somebody's going to throw the bag at him. I don't know who, but somebody's going to do it. And you have to wonder, would it be better for the record if he was still on the Patriots, just mired in Loserville, or if he goes somewhere new? Hard to say, but that's definitely bright and early, petty watching on a Sunday morning. Then we have to go and look. We have petty watching going down with the Chargers and Lions. Always got a petty watch Justin Herbert. Got to see what Man Campbell does to him. Although I don't know where the Dolphin fan lies with that, because maybe the Dolphin fan wants the Chargers to be good because then it feels like, oh, well, we beat a good team. I don't know. Maybe that puts your mind at ease. The thing that is crazy, that week one was a fun-ass game, And, it's not the Dolphins' fault that the Chargers got off to such a bum-ass start. And, I think we went into that week and we were like, oh, this is going to be a great game. Two quarterbacks back and forth. Obviously, there's always the storyline between Tua and Herbert. And what an awesome back and forth that was. Lead changes like crazy. One of the best games of the season. And it started off the season. And now it's like, well, it doesn't matter. You beat a garbage team. Who cares? So I don't. Maybe you want to root against Man Campbell, but that's definitely one I'm going to keep an eye on. Lions and Chargers for next week. Then we got to that for divisional purposes and scouting purposes, you have Jets and Raiders. Now, in our show vote, I got Las Vegas this week in my picks. I don't know what's going on with the Jets. I think a lot of people were getting a little bit froggy with Aaron Rodgers and his whole, show poniness that he's doing with his throwing sessions on the field. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Their coach is pleading the fifth on Trevor Siemian. Jets media is actually like, hey, let's see what Trevor Siemian's got. We know what he's got. He's Trevor Siemian. But I get it. You're sick of Zach Wilson. You're sick of his MILF hunting ways. But you could always enjoy a little primetime Jets loss, then scout on the Las Vegas Raiders, see what they got. Now, there's a big thing that's happened here with the Miami Dolphins, and the Dolphins are getting big-time reinforcements coming up next week when they take on the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not talking about De'Von Achane, although I will say, oh, God, do I miss De'Von Achane, man. I miss his speed. I miss him being so fast that he had the cheetah questioning how fast the cheetah is. I miss De'Von Achane so much. And if he were to come back next week against the Raiders, God, would that make me happy. That would make me so happy. The Raiders could even up their record, by the way, so that wouldn't be beating a bad team if the Raiders did come in here and they beat the Jets this week. That would put them at 5-5. You also have a bit of a Man Campbell situation with them and Antonio Pierce rallying the troops. They obviously won last week. They looked great. That was against the was that against the Giants? It was against the New York Giants last week. So now they got the Jets this week. So very similar to Man Campbell. Get a couple wins in a row, then you humble down Antonio Pierce and his team will be riding high. They'll be feeling fat and sassy. They come into South Florida, bang, hit them where they don't expect it. But biggest news, and this came from Barry Jackson yesterday, and I was like, oh, business just picked up for the Miami Dolphins. Barry Jackson tweets out, for those interested, the Dolphins' next game, November 19th against the Raiders, will be another Kevin Harlan, Trent Green game on CBS. He says Dolphins have averaged about 1 billion points or something in the last half dozen Kevin Harlan games. It is crazy. Kevin Harlan has called the 70-point game. He called the Chargers game. He called the Baltimore game. Kevin Harlan, I believe, was Kevin Harlan on the Carolina was a Fox game, I think. But Kevin Harlan, when he does Dolphins, every Dolphin fan knows this now. It's like when Kevin Harlan is on the call, business is going to pick up for the Miami Dolphins. It's going to be an absolute explosion of offense, and the fact that they're getting Kevin Harlan right off the bat only speaks better about whatever's coming for the Miami Dolphins that week. This man is a treasure. When you hear him say the words, he's got Hill, you perk up. You perk like a meerkat out of a hole. You're just like, whoa. You get a little bit more excited. This man, and he's been great. Kevin, I don't understand. Quite frankly, there's a lot of talk about Thursday Night Football and Al Michaels and how he does Tyreek. I don't understand how, but Joe Buck, Mike Tirico, they're great. They're nice. None of these guys are better than Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan is the best doing it in football. He's the best doing it in basketball. He's the best. And I don't understand why he is not getting even more primo spots. But I'm almost thankful for it because it feels like the Dolphins get him for like half their games because they're just stuck on, giving Tony Romo every Josh Allen game he can possibly go to, get his pants tent on because, oh my God, he loves Josh Allen. Loves Josh Allen. So he giving us that news, Barry Jackson giving me that news about Kevin Harlan was very exciting. I don't know if you guys saw this. Speaking of He's Got Hill, but Tyreek Hill was doing his podcast this week, and he was talking about the fumble, right? And he said He said, quote, "It's a very touchy situation because I don't point fingers at nobody. My job is to play ball and let the players play, let the coaches coach, just go out there and do my thing. At the end of the day, I got to hold on to the ball. I don't care if the man is not blocked. That's my mindset." And he goes in afterwards and he goes, "But it's Cedric Wilson's fault, though." And look, that was one thing that was noticeable. Like, they had Tyreek Hill really was blown up on that play, which ended up being the difference. And, you know, this was a game that I said it has to go on Tua and Tyreek. They had the two most catastrophic plays. And yes, I know they don't wear all of the blame. Connor Williams snapping the ball like with that type of spin away from Tua, with the velocity and spin away from Tua, I don't know what the hell is going on there. So it's not like Tua wears all the blame on it, but he's the captain. Tyreek's the captain. Them's the breaks. When you're the two faces of the franchise, and you guys you played a fairly even game with the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are the guys that you have to put it on, and I think that they'll take that accountability and they'll go into this upcoming game, and hopefully wreak havoc, because these guys are on an incredible pace. Tyreek Hill, of course, is trying to chase down that 2K. He is right now going into this week, stats-wise, Tyreek Hill. Tua is leading the league in passing by about, he's about like 230 up on Sam Howell, about 240 up on Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen could possibly catch him this week. He's about or if Jalen Hurts has a monster game. So it's possible that somebody could even up with Tua. Mahomes is off this week. And then for Tyreek's got A.J. Brown behind him. Eagles this week are they off this week? Eagles are off this week, so Jalen Hurts cannot catch him. Neither can the Chiefs. So Tua's mark's probably safe unless Josh Allen just goes absolutely crazy against the Broncos. That's our final petty watch of the week, by the way. You got Broncos and Bills. Buffalo's a touchdown favorite at home, but obviously, you got to root for the complete demise of Buffalo and see if they can fall even further back from the Miami Dolphins, see if the Dolphins can pick up another half game on their bye week. So even though the Dolphins are off this week, plenty of stuff to root against. And when you come back, you got a little Kevin Harlan magic. And maybe they will have De'Von Achane. I will say on the De'Von Achane thing, though, this is one of those scenarios where, like, I really think they should make sure he's not just 100%. He should be 130%. Go even past reasonable math. That's where De'Von Achane should be before they consider putting him back out on the field. I don't see the point in risking bringing him back early. I think that Mostert obviously does a very serviceable job. I know some guys are down on Ahmed. They're tired of seeing him. I make sure this kid looks special. And I don't want a situation where he comes back and he isn't completely right or he's rushing back. Like, make sure he is all the way back so you have him for the run. Like, you have him for the playoff run. So if you could go Raiders week and you can get through this and you can somehow manage not having him and you get to, even if like it's one more extra week, I'm fine with it. I am not in a rush to get De'Von Achane back. I think they can last because I think like a couple of things. One, make sure he's all the way healthy. Second of all, Mostert, sure there's going to be some wear and tear from the season on him as well. And you bring in a fresh rookie, boom, for the back half, for the the last half dozen games that you have and the playoffs, I would be fine with that. The coaching staff will do. I think people have said they're very, very conservative, and I get that. I think there's been some quicker returns than I thought. I thought Armstead came back a little bit quicker than I thought. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey came back a little bit quicker than I thought. But this guy's young. He's probably going to be eager to get out there, and I would just make sure like he is not just back and okay to go and good, make sure he is super duper ready to go. And that's what I would bring. So if you could punt that an extra week if possible. But I'm not going to lie, cannot wait to see him back on the football field. And especially if that is with a Kevin Harlan call. Ooh, that's Goosey's right there, dude.